Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
So let's start. Today we need to start with a new chapter, that is ratio analysis. So you have heard about financial statement analysis. You have heard about financial statement analysis? Yes or not? सबको आंसर बोलना है. हमने अभी अभी चैप्टर कंप्लीट किया था, फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट एनालिसिस, right? And in that financial statement analysis, we have covered two types of analysis. The number one was comparative and the number two was common size. Comparative and common size statement. Okay. And I said actually there are totally 4 types of financial statement analysis, and in that we have covered only 2. Let me revise which were the types of financial statement analysis. The number 1 was comparative. Number 2 was
Common size.
common size. Number 3 is analysis. Number 4, ratio analysis.
Cash flow statement.
Cash flow statement.
And number 5 is cash flow statement. Okay, so totally how many techniques?
5.
5 techniques.
5.
Okay. And what you need to remember is, out of these 5 techniques, okay, out of these 5 techniques, one is not there for your syllabus. That is number 3, that is trend analysis. Trend analysis is not there for your syllabus. Okay. And next is comparative and common size. You have already finished.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today what we are studying is ratio analysis, and once we finish with the ratio analysis, we will move to cash flow statement. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, moving ahead. What is ratio? First, let us understand what is meant by ratio. And you have heard about ratio in your school classes also, that you had a chapter called ratio and proportion. Okay. And ratio and proportion chapter में आपने ratio के बारे में शायद पढ़ा था. Ratio is a comparison between two mathematical. Ratio is a comparison between two mathematical variables. For example, assume that my weight is 80 kgs and my friend's weight is 40 kg. Now, how can we relate it as my weight in comparison with my friend's weight? The ratio is 2:1. That means if my friend's weight is 1, then mine will be 2. Or I can say I am double of my friend. Okay. So yaad rakhiye. So when the comparison is done between two mathematical variables, it is called as ratio. Now the question arises, that is, what is meant by accounting ratios? Because in the ratio analysis, we are not going to deal with the mathematical ratios, we are going to deal with accounting ratios. Okay, so here the question is, what is accounting ratio? Okay, so if somebody asks between two accounting variables, याद रखिए, जब दो अकाउंटिंग वेरिएबल्स के बीच में रिलेशनशिप को एस्टेब्लिश किया जाता है, then it is known as what? Accounting ratios. Clear with this point? Now, next is, after this, we come across, next is, now this accounting ratio is finished. Now question comes, comparison will be between what? So mainly here, the relationship is established between items of balance sheet and items of profit and loss account. So that's why sometimes this accounting ratio is also explained as it is the comparison between two accounting variables, that is items of balance sheet and items of profit and loss account. Clear? Okay. So now coming to ratio. Now here what we need to remember is accounting ratios can be expressed in three forms, right? तीन फॉर्म में आपको आप उसको एक्सप्रेस कर सकते हो. Now let us understand which are the three forms. Now the expression forms are, number one, in the form of proportion. In the form of proportion. For example, I will take the same example. Assume that मैं इसको थोड़ा और बदल देता हूं, अकाउंटिंग में लेता हूं, right? And profit is 20. इसको और मैं, this is 500 by saying that sales to profit is 5:2. 5:2. This is called as proportion. Now one more way is you can express in times. How it will be done, I will tell you. The second one is times. Times को आप कैसा कर सकते हो? The 500 should be divided by 200. It becomes 2.5. आप करके देखें तो पता चलेगा. If you have calculator, it is 5.5 times. Is 2.5 times of profit. So this is one more way of interpreting. Then the last way is in the form of percentage. How it will be done? Same way. The 500 will be divided by 200, but it will be multiplied by 100, so that we can write in the form of percentage. That becomes 250%. How it can be quoted? It can be said as the sales is 250% of profit. Okay, the sales is 250% of profit. This is one more way of interpretation. Okay, hope all of you have understood.
Yes, sir.
You can respond
Yes,
in the chat box.
Yes, sir.
Or by audio. Understood this? Okay, one more time. Let me revise. Okay. of 5 tools of analyzing the financial statements. Out of that, first one is comparative, second common size, third trend, fourth ratio analysis, and the last one is cash flow statement. Out of that, comparative common size we have already studied, and trend analysis is not there for your syllabus. Okay, then we will be studying ratio analysis, and in the coming days we will be studying cash flow statement. Okay, and then what is ratio? Ratio is a relationship between two mathematical variables. Okay, and what is accounting ratio? Accounting ratio is establishing the relationship between two accounting variables, or you can say it is comparison of two accounting variables, mainly items of balance sheet and profit and loss account. Okay, and the ratio can be, second one is times and the third one is percentage. Okay, question arises, sir, when to express in the form of proportion, when in the form of times, when in the form of percentage. Okay, so for that reason we need to look at the compatibility of the user, how the user like to read it. For example, I will tell you the form of percentage. Okay, so आप देख सकते हैं कि हम हमेशा जब भी रिजल्ट की बात आती है तो हम कभी पॉइंट में नहीं बोलते, हम हमेशा कैसे बोलते हैं? परसेंटेज, बिकॉज वी नो दैट people are compatible with hearing the result in percentage and people feel it comfortable to read also. So by looking at what is the compatibility of the user, because you ultimately need to remember the definition of accounting which was given in the PUC first year, that is, it is the process of identifying, measuring, recording, classifying and summarizing the business transaction, analyzing and interpreting the results thereof and communicating to the end user, communicating the results to the end users for decision making. Remember, we are at the stage of analysis. We are at the stage of analysis, and these analysis will be interpreted in the form of proportion, times and percentage and will be communicated to the users. That's why, so while communicating to the users, one of the best way, one of the essential feature of communication is communication need of the receiver, not as per the need of the sender. Okay, so now let us understand what are the types of ratios. Okay, so totally there are 4 types of ratios. Types of accounting ratios. You can note down if you want. Types of accounting ratios. The first one is, the first one is liquidity ratios. The first one is liquidity ratios. Second one is solvency ratios. The third one is turnover ratio. Number 4 is profit. Profitability ratios. You can note down these points. I'm not seeing few students' camera on. Every day I should not repeat the same. whether you are noting or not. How should I
Fourth
come to know?
क्या है,
Please
sir?
switch on your cameras.
Third,
What?
fourth, sir.
Which one you are asking?
Ratios.
Both profitability
Third and fourth,
ratios.
sir.
Profitability
Third one, sir.
ratios. पहले वाला
Third one, sir.
liquidity ratio, second
हाँ,
solvency, third turnover ratio. Turnover ratio. First note down, please. Over? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, next, moving ahead. The first two types of ratios are liquidity ratios and solvency ratios. Remember, these are the ratios which appear in your examination for 6 marks. Compulsory problem होगा जो 6 marks के लिए रहेगा. Right? And next two ratios है, that is ratio number 3 and ratio number 4. Right? They will be asked for 12 marks. Right? Now, those who will be Sujal Kalantri, your camera is not on, sir. Now, otherwise, those who have not switched on their cameras, they will be blocked forever. Remember, tomorrow onwards, you will not be able to attend the classes. I should teach you accountancy and not English. Hope you understand the sentence when I say that every day you should keep your camera on. Bhagya, your camera is also not on. Now, next. Let's start. So, I'm going to limit my today's discussion with these two ratios because it may require another 2 days also for dealing with these two ratios only. So that's why I'm not going to discuss today the number 3 and number 4. Probably we may discuss only first ratio today. Okay. So at present, we will make 3 and 4 silent and we start with first and second. Now, first we need to understand what are liquidity ratios and solvency ratios. Okay, remember both the ratios, that is liquidity and solvency, are meant to judge the solvency only. You know what is solvency? Solvency is determining whether the person is a solvent or insolvent, and if he is solvent, how much he is solvent, and if he is insolvent, to what extent he is insolvent, that we can get by solvency ratios. Now question arises, sir, solvency ratio में दो रेश टाइप के ratios बनाने की जरूरत क्या थी? Because we have already second ratio which is already called as solvency ratio, then what was the need of liquidity ratio? Okay, so now for that, let me tell you, there are two types of solvencies. One is short-term solvency and the second is long-term solvency. याद रखिए. Number one is short-term solvency and the number two is long-term solvency. Okay, so short-term solvency जो होता है, that is given by liquidity ratio, and long-term solvency is given by solvency ratio. Okay, now sorry, one more time let me tell you. Short-term solvency position जो है, that is given by liquidity ratio, and long-term solvency ratio जो होता है, that is given by solvency ratios. Now question arises, sir, what is meant by short-term solvency and what is meant by long-term solvency? For your information, let me tell you, short-term solvency is about judging meeting your short-term liabilities. Okay, and the long-term is all about meeting your long-term liabilities. मैं आपको एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल दे देता हूं इसके लिए. You just imagine about villages. Because I have seen such kind of cases in village, there will be few lads who are sons of big landlords. But the problem is the landlord will not be giving them money to spend. For that reason, even though they are having crores of property, they go on asking 100 rupees, 200 rupees credit from small vendors in the village. Okay, so that's why what is meant by that, the person who is asking loan in the long term, he is a very rich person, he is able to meet a large amount of liabilities also, but in the present what he is unable to meet his expenses and liabilities. At that time, we can say that that person is solvent in the long term, but he is insolvent in short term. So that's why in order to determine the solvency position, we need to check long term as well as short term. Okay, so now let us understand how this short term and long term solvency position can be ascertained and what are the ratios which we are going to now. First, starting with solvency ratios. Solvency ratios. The first solvency ratio, what you come across is current ratio. Current ratio. Okay, the current ratio is equal to current assets divided by current liabilities. The current assets should be divided by current liabilities. So what comprises of current assets? I hope you remember before few days or statement analysis, in that we had current assets, एक head था और current asset के अंदर जो कुछ भी हम लेते थे वही यहाँ आता है, that is under current assets. तो यहाँ मैं उसको शॉर्ट में लिखता हूं बिकॉज जगह बहुत कम है. सो करंट असेट्स याद रखिए, दिस इज द रेशियो जो आगे मैं लिख रहा हूं, it tells us what it comprises of. So याद रखिए, first current, okay, then bills receivable, debtors plus bills receivable, and remember when you add debtors and bills receivable you get trade receivables. याद रखिए, you will get trade receivables when you add debtors and bills receivable. Then next is, it is inventory, or you can call it as closing stock. It also consists of closing stock. And then next it is debtors, bills receivable, inventory. The next is, if any short-term investments are there, they are also there. The next is cash plus bank plus prepaid expenses plus outstanding income. बहुत लंबा लिस्ट है, थोड़ा आपको ध्यान से लिखना पड़ेगा. आपको याद रखिए, पहले डेटार्स, बाद में बिल्स रिसीवेबल्स, देन इन्वेस्टमेंट्स, inventory, the next is short term investments, then cash, then bank, then prepaid expenses and outstanding income, right? So this consists of what? Current assets. मतलब current assets में ये सब आते हैं, आपको याद रखना है. Then next, what current liabilities consist of? Creditors plus bills payable plus bank overdraft. Okay, so plus any provisions. Okay, so plus outstanding expenses plus pre-received income. Pre-received income. So this is all about current liability, and ऊपर का जो था, that is about current asset. So remember, current assets is equal to debtors plus bills receivable plus investment plus inventory plus short-term investments plus cash plus bank plus prepaid expenses plus outstanding income. Then current liability consists of creditors plus bills payable plus bank plus provisions, then plus outstanding expenses plus pre-received income. Please note down. सब लोग नोट कीजिए. Request you to note down. Next, number 2. The ratio number 2 is quick ratio. And this quick ratio is also called as liquid ratio. This quick ratio is also called as liquid ratio. And this liquid ratio is also called as acid test ratio. Acid test ratio. Now, underline. And the formula is quick assets. Quick assets divided by current liabilities. quick assets divided by current liabilities. Okay. You already know the formula for liability. Now, only thing we need to understand is what is quick assets. Okay. So, quick assets formula is, try to understand current assets minus stock. Stock is nothing but inventory. So what I will do in order to reduce the confusion, जो ऊपर आपने इन्वेंटरी बोल के लिखा था ना, उसको मैं स्टॉप कर देता हूँ. वैसे भी वो इन्वेस्टमेंट से कंफ्यूजन हो रहा था, तो मैं उसको क्या कर देता हूँ, स्टॉक. ओके. Now, next is Mr. Honor 7A, have control over your usage. If you just listen to the class, there will be no problem. Move your hands on your notebook, not on the mobile. And even I heard that there are few students who are changing their names and disturbing in the economics class. That's why yesterday I entered the economics class. You know that I have ability to trace who is that person, and once that person is traced, you know what will be the consequences also. Okay, so now quick assets is equal to current assets minus stock minus prepaid expenses minus prepaid expenses. Quick assets is equal to current assets minus stock minus prepaid expenses. And I'm not going to write current liabilities formula because it is same as it is above. Okay, we have already given. So no need to write it twice. Okay. So now, in order to know how easily you get 6 marks, I request you to come to page number 100. Okay, you come to page number 119. Page number 119. I hope all of you have question bank with you. I'm requesting you to come to page number 119. Okay, so you can see the first 120 पे है, देखिए बाजू में ही 120. Section C, 6 marks problems. From the following, calculate the current ratio and quick ratio. Right? So they have given current asset, current liability, and they have also given quick assets. So when all of these things have been given to us, there will be no trouble in calculating. I hope all of you have noted down this because I need to remove it now. So in order to solve it quickly, I'm removing this description. Now, first you put the heading that is of liquidity ratios. You put the heading calculation of liquidity under that. First you note down this equal to current asset divided by current liability. Now, below that you note down. Just check what is the amount of current asset which is given in the problem.
2,40,000, sir.
2,40,000. And the current liability is
60,000.
60,000.
60,000.
So it results in 4 divided by 1, which is nothing but 4:1. And remember, always liquidity ratios should be represent. दोनों रेशियो को प्रोपोर्शन में ही दिखाना है, not in the form of percentage or times. Next, second you write quick ratio is equal to quick assets divided by current liabilities. Quick assets divided by current liabilities. What is the amount of quick assets?
1,20,000.
Okay, 1 lakh
120,000, sir.
divided by 60,000.
Two is to
That
one,
gives
sir.
us 2 by 1, which is nothing but 2:1.
1.
Okay, so the same question was asked in March 2019 examination. Okay, so this was for 6 marks, and you can understand how easily they give you 6 marks. Whether it is easy or difficult. Easy? Okay. So tomorrow we will be seeing more problems. मतलब ये बहुत आसान था. इसे little bit complicated, not too complicated. वैसे problems हम कल देखेंगे, right? And कल हम कोशिश करेंगे कि बहुत सारे problems को हम solve भी करें. Okay? होमवर्क
Yes,
होमवर्क
sir.
फॉर टुमारो.
Yes, sir.
आपको क्या करना है, देखिए प्रॉब्लम नंबर 2 एंड प्रॉब्लम नंबर 3 आप देख रहे हैं, एंड इफ पॉसिबल प्रॉब्लम
Yes, sir.
नंबर 4 आल्सो. आपको ये करना है कि असेट के सामने आप ये लिखिए कि वेदर इट इज अ करंट असेट और करंट लायबिलिटी. सिर्फ आपको इतना ही मार्क करना है, पेंसिल से आप
Yes,
मार्क
sir.
कर लीजिए. CA CL ऐसा मार्क करते जाइए. CA का मतलब होता है दैट्स अ करंट असेट, एंड मैंने आप उतना ही मार्क करो. तो अगर समझ लीजिए वो छोड़कर कुछ आया है, देन समझ लीजिए दैट इज नॉट एन आइटम टू बी मार्क्ड. फॉर एग्जांपल मैं आपको बता देता हूं, सेकंड प्रॉब्लम में इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल है. इट इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड टू बी मार्क्ड बिकॉज इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल हमारी लिस्ट में है ही नहीं. क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ओके.